The story of this science fiction and adventure begins in a place in Spain, where a man named Aja is being sworn in to become an assassin. The king he works for is telling him that he must protect their family at all costs. In fact, the king possesses an artifact that a group of villains known as the Templars wants to acquire, and if this artifact falls into the hands of the Templars, the entire world will be doomed. Aja vows that even if he has to give up his life, he will not let this artifact fall into their hands. For the oath, one of Aja's fingers is cut off, and he is given the sword of the assassin, officially making him an assassin of the king's empire. Now, we see a scene many years later in Mexico, where we watch a boy named Cal performing stunts on his bicycle. Cal is highly skilled at all these activities. After playing all day, when Cal returns home, he discovers that someone has killed his mother, and it was none other than his father. For some unknown reason, his father has killed his wife and is now approaching his son, Cal, telling him to run away because the Templars are continuously searching for him. However, Cal doesn't understand any of this, but out of fear of his father, he starts to run away. The shocking thing is that many Templar agents outside begin to chase after Cal. But Cal picks up his bicycle and quickly escapes, saving his life at that moment. Now, we are shown a scene 20 years later. Cal has recently committed murder, for which he has been sentenced to prison and has been serving his sentence for the past 2 years. However, the government has decided that for the crime Cal committed, he should be sentenced to death. To execute him quickly, poison will be injected into his body, causing him to die instantly. The day has now come when Cal's life will be taken. Before that, a father enters Cal's prison cell, urging him to have faith in God. But Cal has never believed in such things, and out of anger, he tells the father to leave. Now Cal is taken to a laboratory where all the poisons are being injected into his body to ensure he dies. However, surprisingly, despite the poison entering his body, Cal remains unconscious. After several hours, when Cal opens his eyes, he sees a girl named Sophia in front of him. Cal is completely bewildered and cannot understand where he is. Sophia explains to Cal that while he is considered dead to the rest of the world, he can spend his life participating in their experiments. However, Cal does not believe any of this and, feeling very anxious, begins to run away. Cal notices that there are many other people present in that place. But when he approaches a window, he is stunned to see that the facility he is in stretches for thousands of kilometers, and he cannot determine where he actually is. In other words, no matter what happens, Cal cannot escape from there. At that moment, a man named Musa approaches Cal and tells him that he will have problems at first, but gradually he will learn to live there. Cal is then introduced to Sophia and the others, and he asks where he is and what the facility is for. Sophia responds that the entire facility has been created for the improvement of humanity. However, the reality is that Sophia and everyone in this facility works for the Templars, who had pursued Cal since childhood. Cal is completely unaware of all this. Seizing this opportunity, Sophia, with the help of her team, inserts an advanced technology called ML into Cal's nervous system, allowing them to extract some information from his mind. The truth is that several years ago, an assassin named Aja had hidden the artifact given by the king somewhere, and Cal is none other than the last descendant of Aja's family. Therefore, Sophia and her organization want to gather Cal's old memories and connect them to Aja's DNA and memories to find out where Aja hid the artifact. Sophia then activates her program, showing Cal many visions. The properties of Aja hidden in Cal's DNA begin to surface, allowing Cal to see those memories. What Aja had witnessed was a scene in the past where Aja was gathered with his entire team in one place because the Templar agents had kidnapped the king's son, Ahmed. They needed the artifact at all costs, so they could blackmail the king by holding his son hostage. However, just as they were kidnapping the king's son, Aja and his teammates had arrived at the scene and began attacking the Templars. Aja possessed many fighting techniques, which allowed him to eliminate the Templar general first. A fierce battle ensued, and it was surprising that the actions Aja was taking in the past were the same actions Cal was performing in the present, as they were genetically connected. Meanwhile, Sophia was storing all of Cal's movements and memories to ultimately discover where the artifact was hidden. Several Templar agents had taken the king's son with them and were trying to escape. Aja continued to pursue them to save the king's son, as it was his responsibility. Before long, Aja arrived and started fighting the Templars. He destroyed his enemies' vehicles to ensure he could save the king's son. The vehicle the king's son was in was about to fall off a cliff, but Aja quickly threw a rope to secure the king's son and saved him. However, many Templar agents surrounded Aja and the king's son. After this scene, we return to the present, where Cal has passed out. He doesn't understand what is happening to him. When he regains consciousness, he becomes angry with Sophia, questioning what kind of experiment they are conducting on him. Cal tells Sophia that ever since she connected him to that machine, he has only been seeing visions of Aja. He demands to know what kind of experiment they are performing on him. Eventually, Sophia agrees to explain everything to Cal. She takes him into her research laboratory, where Cal sees that Sophia has conducted extensive research about him. Sophia was explaining to Cal all the details from his DNA report, stating that they had been researching for many years before discovering that he was a descendant of Aja. Aja was a brave warrior of a powerful empire whose duty was to protect his king and his legacy. This is why Cal had been brought to this facility, to uncover the truth about the artifact. However, when Cal asked Sophia about the artifact, she explained that there were many people in this facility whose DNA matched that of several warriors, but they were still researching how to bring out the properties of these warriors. Sophia didn't want to confuse Cal too much, so she told him she would explain everything later. For now, Cal was sent to the canteen with the others to have some breakfast. In the canteen, Cal met Musa and some of the others when one of the assassins approached him and said that all these people wanted to obtain a very powerful artifact through him, and if they succeeded, it could lead to disastrous consequences. Cal had already realized that these people were after the artifact, but he didn't know its true purpose. Therefore, he decided that no matter what, he would not let it fall into their hands. Meanwhile, Sophia's father, Alan, who was the director of the entire facility, told his daughter that they needed the artifact at all costs and that preparations should be made to send Cal back into the machine. However, Sophia informed her father that Cal was not in a good condition, and connecting him to the machine in this situation could be dangerous. But Alan remained firm in his decision and insisted that the experiment must proceed. On the other hand, we see Cal receiving visions of Aja, during which Cal and Aja are continuously fighting each other. It appeared that Aja wanted to teach Cal his fighting techniques. Cal, however, couldn't understand what was happening. He only wanted to protect himself, so he began attacking the guards as if they were Aja. Although Cal used Aja's fighting techniques to handle all the security guards at once, they eventually managed to subdue him and forcefully connected him to the machine. In Aja's visions, Cal began to see past events where Aja and his companions were captured by the Templars, who presented them before their empire. A Templar leader then declared that no one could stop them from taking the artifact. A decision was made that if Aja did not reveal anything about the artifact, he and his companions would be sentenced to death. Soon, some Templar soldiers arrived to execute Aja and his companions. They even killed one of Aja's teammates. Suddenly, Aja became very angry and broke free, starting to fight back against all of them. He also rescued his teammate, Maria, from there. What Aja was doing in the past was mirrored by Cal in the present, allowing Sophia and her father's company to track the artifact's whereabouts. Aja and his companions quickly attempted to escape. At that moment, Maria jumped down from a height to save herself, and Aja followed her. In the present, when Cal experienced the fall from such a height, he suddenly began to lose consciousness. Sophia and the others rushed to Cal to provide treatment. Due to the repeated experiments on him, Cal's body had become somewhat fragile, so he needed continuous treatment. He was submerged in a strange liquid that would heal all his wounds. Sophia explained to Cal that if he voluntarily entered the machine, his body would not be affected as much. However, Cal said he was not ready for any of this yet. Once he felt a little better, Cal was taken out, and Sophia handed him a locket. This locket belonged to Cal's mother. Sophia's father, Alan, was a good friend of Cal's mother, and he had found this locket with her deceased body. Sophia explains her purpose, stating that their facility does not want to instigate any conflict. The war between the Templars and Assassins has been ongoing for centuries. However, if they obtain the artifact, they will use it for good, which could end this long-standing war. Cal began to feel that maybe the Templars were not entirely wrong. As a result, he goes to thank Sophia's father, Alan. Alan tells Cal that he definitely has some qualities that they need to extract under any circumstances to find the artifact. Alan takes Cal to a room filled with assassins. He explains that they have used the machine on these assassins, causing their memories to gradually fade due to the machine's effects. However, this was not happening to Cal. If he entered the machine with complete focus, it would grant him full control. Alan also gave Cal a weapon that belonged to his father, Joseph, the same weapon that had been used to kill Cal's mother. While handing over the weapon, Alan informed Cal that his father was also in this room. Cal was completely shocked to hear this. He didn't know how to react because he had been very angry with his father from the start. He took the weapon and approached his father, Joseph, who was lost in thought. As Joseph noticed Cal, he said, "You are betraying our assassin lineage. If the Templars get their hands on the artifact because of you, The entire world will be in danger. You must take responsibility for your actions." At this, Cal became very furious and grabbed his father, threatening him with the sword, since Joseph had obviously killed Cal's mother. However, Joseph then revealed the truth to his son. He explained that both he and his wife belonged to the assassin lineage and that the Templars had been constantly searching for them to find the artifact. Cal's mother couldn't accept being part of that useless experimental machine, so she forced Joseph to kill her, as she didn't want to endure the torture. However, Joseph did not want to do this to his wife at all. "But your mother forced the knife into her own body, leading to her death." After hearing all this, Cal's eyes opened wide. He had been blaming his father all these years, but now he had learned the truth. Cal wanted to take revenge for his mother's death at any cost. He also had an idea of why the Templars were after the artifact. Therefore, Cal went directly to Sophia to connect himself to the machine. This time, Cal asked to connect to the machine himself, meaning he would be able to have complete control. He immediately connects to the machine and goes into the visions of the past with Aga. Aga was trying to enter the kingdom with Maria while evading the Templars, but it seemed to be too late. Some of the Templars and their leader had captured the king's daughter and were blackmailing the king, saying that if he didn't give them the artifact, his son would die. The king was completely helpless because he wanted to save his son, so he had to give the powerful artifact to the Templars. The artifact was now in the hands of the Templar leader, who declared that they would rule the world. However, perhaps things were not going to end so quickly. Suddenly, from above, Aga and Maria jumped down, attacking the Templar soldiers. Aga was determined to save the king, his son, and the artifact, so he tried his best to do so. In the present, Cal was performing the same actions, which Sophia's team was decoding. Now Aga was trying to escape with all the soldiers, but on the other side, the Templar captain held a knife to Maria's throat. Aga did not want Maria to die at any cost, but she insisted, "Don't worry about me. Just try to save the artifact and get out of here." Aga was torn and removed his knife from the Templar leader's throat, but the Templar captain immediately stabbed Maria in the neck. Seeing this, Aga became furious. He first took the artifact from the father and advanced towards the Templar captain to eliminate him. Aga was going berserk, killing all the soldiers in front of him, but the Templar captain was quite powerful. He lifted Aga and slammed him down, injuring him severely. Just as the captain was about to kill Aga picked up a sword lying next to Maria's dead body and plunged it into the captain's body, killing him on the spot. However, when Aga approached the father to eliminate him, many soldiers had already arrived. So, Aga began to flee with the artifact in his possession to protect it at all costs from the Templars. In the present, Cal was performing the same actions that Aga had done. Aga felt that the artifact had to be entrusted to safe hands, so he went to Columbus and handed the artifact to him. Aga told Columbus that they had to protect the artifact at all costs. Otherwise, the entire world would be in danger. Columbus agreed to this. Columbus took the artifact and said something to Aga in a code word, which Sophia and her team in the present began to decode. Columbus had said that this artifact would stay with him and would go with him. Upon decoding this, Sophia and her team realized that the artifact would surely be in Columbus's grave after his death, meaning they now had the location of the artifact in modern times. When this information came to light, all the assassins in the facility went completely mad because they had to protect the artifact at all costs. The Templars had also learned where the artifact's location was. Alan told his soldiers that they needed to find the artifact quickly and to eliminate all the assassins present in the facility and destroy it. This meant that Alan had been planning all of this for a long time. The assassins went out of control and began wreaking havoc in the facility. Now we see some souls of the assassins surrounding Cal, one of which was the soul of Cal's mother. At this point, Sophia wanted to stay with Cal, but the soldiers took her away, no matter what. Because now this place was no longer safe, all the souls of the assassins came to Cal and said, "You are not a good assassin. We sacrificed our lives to protect the artifact and wanted future generations to protect it correctly. But because of you, the Templars have discovered the location of the artifact. If it falls into their hands, they can manipulate human minds because the artifact has the power to control the entire environment. They will control humans as they wish." Cal's mother explained to him that he had to fulfill his duty. Understanding this, Cal declared, "I won't let the Templars and Alan reach the artifact." So, Cal set out to gather all the assassins. Now, Moscow and all his friends had come to him, asking what they should do. Cal included all the assassins present in the facility in his team and advanced, killing the soldiers. Meanwhile, Alan had reached Columbus's tomb with all his people. Some senior members of the Templars were also present there, who knew how to use the artifact well. This meant that the artifact had finally fallen into the hands of the Templars, who could use it for evil purposes. However, their main goal was to eliminate all the assassins with the help of the artifact. Alan had become extremely arrogant because he now possessed the artifact. To announce this to all the Templars around the world, he organized a party. In this meeting, Alan would showcase the artifact, confirming that he was the king of all these matters and that everyone would have to follow his lead. When Sophia learned about all this, she approached her father, Alan, and asked, "You deceived me. You said we would end all violence with the help of the artifact." But Alan replied, "I haven't lied to you. My ending of violence means eliminating all the assassins. After they are gone, I will control the minds of all humans with the help of the artifact. And I will limit their thinking ability so that we can completely control them. After that, whatever the Templars want will happen in this entire world." Saying all this, Alan left his daughter, Sophia, who couldn't believe that her father could do such a thing. After a while, Cal also approached Sophia, telling her that perhaps her father had deceived her as well. Cal then offered Sophia to join him so they could kill her father together, as she was the only one who knew about all her father's movements. However, Sophia rejected Cal's offer. But Cal insisted that even if she didn't join him, he would still eliminate her father and the Templars. Meanwhile, Alan was showcasing the artifact to all his Templar followers, trying to establish himself as the master of everything. In the next moment, Cal abruptly cut Alan's throat in front of the assembly. Seeing this, the Templars present began to flee for their lives. By the time Sophia arrived to save her father, he had already taken his last breath. Alan had the artifact in his hand, and there was a save point nearby, which made Sophia realize that Cal had taken the artifact and killed her father. In a way, Sophia blamed herself, thinking that if she hadn't sought the artifact, none of this would have happened. She decided that she would find the artifact again and eliminate all the assassins. On the other hand, Cal stood at the very top of the building with a few of his companions, holding the artifact, vowing to protect it with his life. And with this dangerous ending, our story comes to a close.